If you've been following my shorts, you know that I have been dresser hunting like crazy and everything has been complete bust. But when I saw this in an old abandoned barn, you know what? I felt like I should get suckered into paying $40 and take it home. What drew me to this piece was this awesome solid wood. This thing is thick. And I also really appreciate the simple layout of the drawers. I've learned that sometimes if the drawers are a little too odd shaped, the piece just doesn't sell. I also feel like if I find things that are only 6 drawers, then they sell for a lower price. So good thing this one is 7. I have been searching for a new piece of furniture to flip for seems like a few weeks now. And sometimes that just happens where you can't really find what you're looking for or things are just too expensive. This one though, I found it in the back of a barn. It wasn't my first pick, but I've really been wanting to refinish something lately. And sometimes you just get what you get, and that's what this dresser is. But I'm hoping we can turn it around. It's not as tall as I would typically like it to be. I think it would be great if it was another 2 or 3 inches so I could advertise it more as like a nursery dresser. But what I do really like about this dresser is the solid wood aspect and the simple design overall. If you have those 2 staples, you're gonna make a really good profit. And speaking of profit, the best way to make the largest profit is to buy the right types of furniture. So skip on the tall dressers, chests of drawers, wonky furniture types, stick with nightstands and these long and low dressers. Especially if you're starting out, this is where the big money is. This thing is so dirty, so we're gonna have to make sure we're extra careful getting all the little grime off of it. These drawers are overlay drawers, so I'm gonna go ahead, take them out, label them. I just use a Sharpie on the back of the drawer and set them aside. That way we're gonna be able to get behind these drawers and get a really good clean and sand. So this is the top row on the left. So I'm gonna put row 1, marking left. So I know even if they get out of order, I'm still gonna be able to match the same drawer back with the same cubby. So this one is gonna be row number 1, and it's an M because it's in the middle position. Ew-wee, look at all that dirt that was sitting behind these drawers. We're definitely gonna need to do a little bit of cleaning back in here. Oh, and one of the extra screws. The finish on here is so thick that I think we're just gonna start out with acetone. I always get asked like what's really the difference between stripping and sanding? Is there any time saving? And honestly, no. It takes about the same amount of time, but I will say this is super thick, so I think it would take quite a while to sand all the way through it. So we're gonna give a little head start with the acetone. Always wear gloves, eye protection. I'm in the garage and the garage door is open now, so I do have really good ventilation, but I still just like to wear a mask. It's really strong smelling, so I find the mask is just more comfortable. Then I use a cup and some spatulas just to kind of dump all the ooey gooeys back into a cup, and then I can dispose of that later. When I use acetone or any stripper for that matter, I try to keep it away from the edges because I do not want this going over the edge and dripping down onto the base of the dresser because it's going to start taking up the finish in all the wrong areas that we don't want it. And it's going to look uneven and look a little bit splotchy. So I just stick to the center parts of these big stretches and then use my sander and get around the edges. Another cool trick that I've seen online with some of you doing is putting down a towel or paper towels, in my case here, soaking it with acetone and letting it set. I think that is so smart. But as you can see, I was really struggling with the finish on this stuff. It was thick. It was not coming off very well. So it did take quite a few passes to actually get some progress on this. The acetone did a somewhat decent job, but I don't know. This stuff is just so thick. So we're going to finish this off with the sander, do a little bit of both, and that should come up then pretty smooth. Acetone and stripper in general is really great for getting that top coat up. But either way, you're still going to be left with all the color underneath and you will have to sand that out. So don't get too excited thinking that just because you use stripper that you solved all of the world's problems in one product, because that is incorrect. You're going to have to go back with your sander, and you better hope that you picked a good stripper that doesn't leave a gunky residue, because I've gotten burned on that a few times. A little bit more of those eco-friendly ones. I mean, yes, it's great to use eco-friendly. It's easier on your health, easier for the smells and all that, but sometimes they can be a little sticky, and I found them to clog up my sander, which is not helpful at all, because then I'm burning through sanding pads and it's just costing me a lot of money, costing me a lot of time. And honestly, that's why I just always end up using acetone. It dries so fast. So in about 10-20 minutes, I can go in with my sander and know that I'm not going to have any issues with that gunkiness. It's going to be all dry and nice and hard, so I'm able to sand it down. Good morning. We have a change of plans. Last night I posted this piece to my Instagram stories, which I've mentioned before how Instagram has completely changed my business. I have a network now of local moms, local families who are looking for nurseries, kid dressers, family dressers. So I posted this to my story as I was working on it, as I was sanding, and somebody reached out that was very interested in it. We talked about the vision a little bit, used AI to render some mock-up designs, and she's sold. She wants it. So we spent all day sanding down the top of this, and now she wants the whole thing painted white. So that was a lot of extra work that in hindsight didn't need to happen, but that's just part of the process and it's okay to pivot. So this morning we're going to be targeting our drawers. They have this kind of old barn smell to it. So we're just going to take some white vinegar and give it a spritz. I found this to be really effective at just kind of getting rid of that old musty smell, and spray the underside of the drawers too. Give it a good wipe. If it was smoke smell, I would advise anyone to just pass on it. I don't think it is worth trying to extract cigarette smoke out of furniture. Just doesn't work very well. I've unfortunately done that once a few years ago where I ended up buying something because it was only like $20, but it smelled like smoke and it took a long time to sell. I mean, it was still a ton of work and the profit was cut in half because it smells like smoke. And you know, nobody wants that in their home, especially for a child or a nursery room. So now we got this all nice and good and soaked with vinegar, so it should be smelling good soon. Then on the back of these drawers, I've added in some new drawer clips here. These were pretty much all missing, so they did not sit well in the drawer slides at all. So I added some new clips there, but as you can see, this back part is still kind of busted up. So I'm gonna take my nailer gun and just shoot in some nails here just to give it a little bit more structure so that it doesn't wiggle so much when you push down on it. And to give it that extra security while I am nailing, I'm gonna use my clamp just to get that right in line with the back of it. right, that's definitely a lot more secure here. And then on the inside, when I push down, it's not wiggling like it used to. So we're great. We're gonna do the scuff sand with the drawers out so we can get the frame nice and covered. I know there are some paints that advertise that you do not need to scuff sand underneath them, but listen, between you and me, that is some BS, and you absolutely do need to scuff sand. It doesn't need to be back-breaking. It doesn't need to be painful. You can even just do it by hand. Literally anything is better than nothing. And don't believe those brands that tell you, oh, you don't need to scuff sand. You don't need to clean it. Just put on our product and it's all going to be great. It's just not going to last. It might look good for a month, but it won't look good forever. So take that extra time, do your scuff sand. I promise you it is worth it. There are two types of dressers. Dressers that have inset drawers, so it's all nice and smooth on the front, or dressers that have drawers that overlap on the front. This dresser has drawers that overlap on the front, so you want to take those drawers out at least to get the base coat on so you can get behind all those drawers. While our primer is drying, it's a really good time to start looking at poles. This takes about 1 to 3 days to ship, so I want to make sure I get these ordered sooner than later in the process so that by the time I'm done with the big dresser, my knobs have arrived and it's all seamless and I'm not just like waiting on hardware. That is the worst. So I was talking to the client. She wants a white dresser with gold hardware. And this is going to be for her daughter, which I guess is going for a Bridgerton themed dresser, which I absolutely love. I think that's so iconic. Let me know if you watched season 4. I thought it was great. So I got these. I'll show you them a little bit more once I actually get them in. You can see in more detail. But what I was looking for here, these have only 3-inch hole centers. So the distance between the holes is 3 inches. So that's what I'm looking for when I'm searching for knobs. But 3 inches looks a little bit stubby sometimes and isn't as elegant and sophisticated looking. So I try to find ones where the actual bar itself extends past that 3 inches. I think it just elongates it. It looks better, it looks bigger, and a little bit more proportional, especially on such a large dresser. So I just got the go ahead from my client. We're gonna order these in gold. So not the brass that I normally do. We're gonna do straight gold. They should be coming in, let's see. Actually, yeah, 2 days from now. So these will be perfect. My dresser should be done in 2 days, so I can just put on these knobs, take some pictures, and then get it off to my customer. And once our first coat is dry, we're gonna put these drawers back in and give it another spray down. The top is a little bit rough because we did sand it all the way down, so we added that primer. Kind of made that wood grain pop up a little bit, and that's totally normal, so we're just going to give it a little sand and it should get nice and smooth. I sanded down our drawers, but there's still a lot of nicks on them, so we're going to go in with a little bit of wood filler, add that in as needed, and then sand it back so it's nice and smooth. Especially on white furniture, these gaps can be very noticeable. So I'm just going to use a little bit of caulk and fill that in. It's time to give everybody a good sand. Our dresser is ready for paint, so that means it's time to break out the gallon of white paint that I have. I buy it by the gallon because it is the perfect white shade. And a lot of you have seen this before. It is the white mocha color by Behr. It is my most requested color by far. I actually started my business just with this single color. I only painted white, which yes, was boring, but it sells really well. Everybody is looking for a neutral type of dresser. Of course, I do custom work where we do all sorts of colors, but you really can't go wrong with a white piece of furniture. You know the drill, the drawers have to come out and we're gonna do our first coat. And once that first coat is dry, and I mean absolutely dry, then we're gonna put those drawers back in and spray just the drawers down. Our knobs have arrived and I absolutely love them. They are a brushed gold 3-inch hole center. They're gonna fit perfectly and there's not too many of these to install because sometimes this does take me a lot of time. So we're gonna put these on and then that's it. This project is wrapped up and my client is gonna pick this up in just a few days. Do you see how the bar itself extends past where the hole centers are going to be? So although we have a 3-inch hole center, our overall look is going to be a lot longer. And I think it just gives us a little bit better of a look because 3 inches can be stubby and too short. Okay, my buyer actually was only 30 minutes away, so she stopped by. I had just barely wrapped up putting those knobs on. I wasn't expecting her for another week, so I didn't get any actual B-roll of the final product. I did take a few pictures last minute as she was loading up, so I'll insert them here. But overall, my client loved it. It was for her 19-year-old daughter. It was the Bridgerton-themed dresser. It was so cute. I really love the knobs. I hadn't tried those before, so that was definitely a new thing for me, which I think I'll buy them again at some point soon. Overall, I'm really happy with the direction that we went with the dresser. I originally didn't have any client lined up for this, and that is the power of social media. I was able to post on my local Instagram page, reach a large network of local people in my area. And you know what? Then I got a client, I got a buyer, and most of the time that does happen. So I recommend if you're trying to sell a lot of furniture, try starting different social media websites. You're gonna see how quickly your client list stacks up. So thank you for watching and I'll catch you on the next one.